Well, I think there's a lot of Democrat senators who are in a big hole right now for a lot of different reasons, but that certainly can turn around. Now let's move on to the governor's race. Why don't you tell us what happened with that in terms of the numbers of the poll?
Well, yeah, I thought that was very interesting. A governor's race around the corner. David Vitter, no matter what baggage he may have, still holds up pretty well. If you had the governor's race today, and the candidates who's expressing an interest, numbers are David Vitter 27.6%, Lieutenant Governor Jay Darden 13.1%. But here's the clicker here: Mayor Landrieu, the mayor of the city of New Orleans, 26.4, almost dead even with David Vitter. He's a Democrat and shows some real strong support for the newly re-elected mayor of New Orleans. And by the way, as a personal note, I was at a funeral this week of former legislator Hank Larcella. A lot of the Jefferson Parish folks know this. And Mayor Landrieu was there and stayed around a great deal. He was there to pay his respects to Hank Larcella. But he lingered a long time and visited with a lot of the Jefferson folks out that way. And so maybe he's got some thoughts about the future himself in terms of that governor's race. But Darden, 13%. They threw, besides that, John Kennedy, the state treasurer, popular treasurer, who was very anxious to run, only 8.5%. They threw Edwin Edwards in the race. He got 4.6%, undecided about 20% of the vote.
Wait, I'm sorry, is that Edward Edwards? That's John Bell Edwards, am I correct?
I'm sorry, exactly right. I said Edwin Edwards. That's right. That was a Freudian slip right there. John Bell Edwards, that Democrat, 4.6, who's announced that he's running. 4.6%, correct. That's right. So it looks like the only major Republican challenger right now is John Kennedy, Lieutenant Governor Jay Darden, unless Kennedy spends a ton of money. If Mayor Landrieu doesn't run, and Landrieu may look at these same numbers about Republicans versus Democrats and say, look, I got a pretty darn good job as mayor of New Orleans, I'm not going to run, then it gives Jay Darden a lot of growth room, quite frankly, as the more moderate Republican against Vitter's not only being conservative, but being a pretty tough cookie. He plays real hardball politics that a lot of Republicans don't like. So there's room for Darden, and there's certainly an opportunity for Landrieu in this poll. It shows it's fluid, it still is yet to develop, and it still has a long way to go. Interesting, by the way, Vitter's approval rating, 60%, as high as virtually any politician in the last 20 years. Yet that only turns around for him in a governor's race of 27%. So he's not been able, it's not like his popularity is so strong that people say, hey, come on back home and run for governor. Vitter has no sense to be governor. He's got an uphill fight, even if, in my opinion, if Landrieu doesn't win. So I thought it was interesting that his high approval numbers for the Senate don't transform themselves into strong support in the governor's race.
You know, the thing is that that election is, a year and a half away. And it seems to me that right now we're looking at a popularity contest in terms of those people who are well known: Landrieu, Vitter, Darden, Kennedy. I think that's what those numbers reflect at this point in time. We don't know what's going to happen with John Bell Edwards or some other Republican who comes into play. But yeah, Vitter, regardless, I mean, he's in a he is. I think in the catbird seat. Let me just be more specific about that, because I'm not so convinced that Mitch Landrieu will run. There's no indication from him that he would run. He did answer a question during the mayor's election that he was not going to run, although he did say when he was lieutenant governor that he wasn't going to run for New Orleans mayor, and he ended up jumping to that election at the last minute. So one really does not know, but I'm not convinced that Mitch Landrieu is going to run, and I think a lot has to do with what happens with Mayor Landrieu.
I agree with you, and I think, as you say, that gives Jay Darden a lot of growing room. So Darden is a good candidate, personal, makes real good speeches, been around a good
Mhm.
bit, and I think he has tremendous growing room as this whole thing shakes out. And as you say, you get more into the substance of the governor's race. It is a long way off.